kind of an errand?
The hospital business.
You ought to have more than coffee. Let me fix you some eggs.
This is fine. Just stay here and talk for a minute.
You and Dr. Wharton, you get along fine, don't you?
There's never been anyone like him in my life.
He must be a wonderful man. And I'm sure he's taught you a lot. But you're pretty wonderful yourself.
Yeah. Second Dr. George Washington Carver.
And why not?
So many reasons, Cora. For one, I'm not even a good intern yet.
Dr. Clark says your record's one of the best the county hospital's ever had.
That plus Mom's apple cake with whipped cream ought to get me a pretty good job, shouldn't it?
Let's not talk about it now.
I wish I'd been consulted about his coming. Keep it as a surprise. You do that with kids. It's kind of childish.
Well, it was really his idea.
I need another year with Wharton.
Not now. Let's not talk about it now.
I'm not sure of myself in so many ways, Cora.
Not now.
Clark and his big fat practice. I'd never know whether I was a good doctor.
Get some sleep, honey. You're so tired. You've worked so hard. Harder than anybody to get where you are. Shoes you shined, the dishes you washed, garbage you dumped, the food you couldn't buy because you needed books, remember? How you studied, how I'd ask you questions over and over. Questions I couldn't even pronounce. Coffee, coffee and more coffee, slapping you to keep you awake. And when you told me A was your passing mark, not for the others, just for you. You got 'em. All A's. No wonder you're tired. Even I'm a little tired. Cleaning up after parties, eating leftovers. One day off a week to be with my husband. Be a woman. Be loved. We've been a long time getting here. We're tired, but we're here, honey. We can be happy. We've got a right to be.
Looking for somebody?
Yes, my husband, Ray Biddle. I couldn't get here till just now.
This ain't visiting hours.
Well, you see, sir, I can't come anytime I want. I just took an hour off from work, and it's way on the other side of town, and, well, tomorrow the boss says I can't come.
Where's your pass?
A pass just to see my husband?
Go get a pass and come back.
Well, Dr. Wharton didn't say anything about a pass.
Wharton?
Yeah, he said for me to come up here. He's the one who told me where to go.
It's funny he didn't give you a pass.
Yeah, ain't it? Well, I guess he would have only, well, I was in such a hurry, and he was, too, going someplace. Wait a minute. He gave me this. Is that any good?
It's a visiting card.
Well, maybe he thought that'd be enough.
Visiting card ain't no pass.
Look, Buster, I didn't print it up. The man gave it to me.
I'll see if I can get him on the phone.
Well, forget it.
It's no trouble.
Forget it. Next thing you'll be wanting my fingerprints and a blood test. Life's too short. Go file a big fat report on how you kept me from breaking in your jail here, and tell my husband I'll try to come back again sometime, and I'll tell Dr. Wharton what a fine figure of a cop he's got up here.
Wharton ain't my boss.
Lucky for you. If he was, you'd be out in the rain.
Wait a minute. I guess it's okay. Let me see your pocketbook. Okay.
Maybe you'd like to search me?
Some other time. Straight ahead, room 5.
Why couldn't it have been you that got killed instead of Johnny?
That's your favorite question, ain't it? Only the last time you asked it wasn't about being dead.
You scum.
It was, why couldn't it be you I married to instead of Johnny?
You dirty scum.
Sounded good in the dark.
I should have killed you.
You had other things on your mind.
You weren't fit to live in the same world with him.
I don't see no tears on your face. Where's your black dress?
If it was you, I'd sing and wear flowers.
All right, Edie, what's on your mind? What do you want?
They tell me you ain't hurt so bad.
Lost a lot of blood.
That's a shame.
Give me a cigarette. Matches. Tell me something. Who's they?
The head doctor, Wharton.
You go to see him?
He came to see me. He and the... Dr. Brooks.
Well, now, that was real nice. They don't always do that.
Why won't you let him examine Johnny's body?
Ah, so that's why you're here, huh?
Why won't you let him?
Let me give you a light.
No, it's all right.
Come over here.
Let me go.
What are you scared of? I can't move. There's cops all around. After all this time, you won't even sit for a minute. That's better. Edie, listen to me.
I done too much
What
of
we
that
did
already.
to Johnny, we did together. He didn't know. It didn't hurt him.
I know. I'll always know.
And how are you going to make it up to him? You know what they do, Edie, when they examine a dead body? They cut it in pieces. They chop it up like it was a hunk of wood.
The way you feel about Johnny, I guess maybe you think he's got it coming to him.
Johnny was a good kid.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering. Johnny's body. The body you used to love.
They say it's on account of you they gotta have the autopsy, because you think he was killed and they want to prove you
Because
wrong.
that nigger doctor murdered Johnny. It's the truth. I swear it. I seen it with my own eyes. Edie, sit down. Please, sit down. Look, I'm on the level. What's in it for me not to be? Why wouldn't I believe him? Unless I knew better.
They say you want to think the way you do because Dr. Brooks is colored.
Yeah, sure, I know. I'm supposed to forget it. I'm supposed to forget my brother couldn't have a white doctor, forget he'd be alive if he did. Edie, I want to ask you something. If you had a kid, would you send him to a nigger doctor? Would you like one putting his dirty black hands on you? Would you like to be lying here like me, watching Johnny in that bed, shot in the leg, watching a nigger doctor jab a needle into his back, watching Johnny die?
If you're so sure, what are you afraid of? Give them a chance to prove it.
No, because they won't be looking for anything they don't know. They want to fix it so nobody ever knows the truth.
I don't know what to believe.
Yeah, I certainly don't figure you're gonna believe me. Why should you? When have I ever leveled with you?
Never.
And when I do, I get kissed off. It figures. What else? Ray Biddle out of Beaver Canal. What was it you used to call us? Human garbage. We stink up the street. Where do I stack up against the great Dr. Wharton?
When the head doctor of the hospital comes to see me himself to explain and to ask me for help.
Smart, Edie. Why would he come? Because he's on a spot. He wants an out of Patsy. Dr. Wharton coming after you with his hat in his hand. Do you think that's his job? And who did he come begging to? To Mrs. John Biddle of the country club? No. To Edie Johnson, another hunk of garbage out of Beaver Canal. Yeah, like me, like Johnny. Somebody he can double talk and push around, play for a sucker.
He didn't treat me like Beaver Canal. He knows I don't want any part of it.
How does he know?
I told him.
And he gave you a great big hand, didn't he? Made you feel great. Like you were a nice, clean girl in a nice, clean world. The head of a big institution comes all the way across town just for that. Just to tell you how far away Beaver Canal is. Just to play you for a chump.
It's funny.
What is?
Almost the last thing Johnny was saying yesterday. I can hardly believe it was only yesterday.
What?
It ain't important.
What?
Just that he might have been you talking. He talked about getting out of Beaver Canal, making something out of himself. How you were right all along, he was wrong. He was going to come and tell you about it. Today.
He's better off. Now he don't have to know that you don't get out. Because it never gets out of you. Stink gets in your skin. Oh, they can smell you a mile off.
Don't talk like that, Edie. Didn't that doctor tell you you were doing fine?
Yeah, he had me going good. He had me all set to marry the governor. Well, what do we do about it?
About what?
Johnny, about the nigger doctor.
Come here. First thing you go find George. You can talk dummy language. He'll tell you everything you have to know. Make him take you to the club. Spill it all to Rocky Miller. Tell Rocky what they tried to pull on you. And then do what Rocky tells you.
It makes sense they killed Johnny and they're trying to cover.
What else?
It makes sense that they wouldn't come to me unless they needed something bad enough.
A chump.
I'm the type.
This way we can make it up a little to Johnny. You're a good kid, too, Edie.
The cream off the top of the bottle. That's me.
Our top see my eye. They want to cut him up so nobody will ever know.
Dirty, stinking dinge.
You said that before.
I'll say it again.
That helps a lot. That helps Johnny a lot.
Is that how Ray told it to you?
Edie.
It ain't right to cut him up. Cut him up like he was a hunk of wood.
They even sent her to talk Ray into it.
Well, they didn't just put it like that.
But that's what they want, ain't it? To cut him up?
Answer the man.
Yeah, that's what they wanted.
That's what gets me, the way they butter up them jigs.
What are you gonna do about it? Cry? The dummy threw a rock at least. They kill his brother and he throws a rock through a window. Big hero.
He's only a dummy.
And what are you? And what are you gonna throw, Mac?
Who's next? That's what I want to know. Who's next?
I saw a booger the other day on a car a block long, like he owned the world.
In the city hospital, we pay for it for niggers killing white men.
What are we gonna do about it?
We could all wind up like Johnny.
Well?
When?
Tonight. How many, Whitey?
It's after 6 now. It's kind of late. Maybe I can hustle up a dozen.
Hustle hard. Tell him about Johnny. Make it 2 dozen.
What time?
9 o'clock at Andy's junkyard. Andy knows about it.
What about you, Rocky?
We'll all be there. Johnny belonged with us, didn't he?
Yeah.
What about you?
Don't worry.
9 o'clock.
Yeah.